Well, CBD is a cannabinoid from the hemp plant, as well as THC is a cannabinoid from the hemp plant. So they both come from the hemp plant. When a hemp plant develops, it develops more THC than it does CBD. So CBD has to be looked for and taken out of the plant. CBD is non-psychoactive or somewhat, it alters the brain to relax and all that, but it has no euphoria feeling with it as THC does. It also helps you basically relax. A lot of people who take CBD want to relax without having any kind of sidebar effect, and that's what CBD does. It's legal all over the United States, on all 50 states, and most countries, CBD is legal. THC is not legal in all 50 states, and it's also illegal in other countries. So THC is the component that basically causes you to be high. It can be used for recreational purposes and also for specific medicinal purposes. But however, CBD is used for health and wellness, but also can be used for health and wellness issues also, but it's not mind altering in any way. So you don't feel any euphoric effects with CBD at all. It's calming. And I think the biggest thing to take away from CBD is that it's really just new. It's been since 2018 that we've been able to use CBD in our environment, in our cultures. So I think from that perspective, it's still misunderstood. And that's what we do. At least we try to help people understand the differences between CBD, cannabinoids, and THC. Does that help?
You know what I love about this is that it is a CBD no matter where, in Europe, in
Yes.
Latin America, in Costa Rica, in Colombia, in Texas, and New York. It's CBD. So it's great that we're doing this training because we just brought back CBD into Colombia and Costa Rica, especially that 7 ml size. It's slated for some other countries coming up here very soon. And so it's just great to get back together and talk about good old CBD. So all right, let's see what questions up next. Dr. Suits, hey, is CBD going to make me feel high, or is it going to alter my state of mind?
Oh, hey, Shannon. I know Dr. Todd just mentioned a little bit about this, but absolutely not. The National Institute Drug Abuse, which is called the NIDA, confirms, and that research shows that CBD is non-intoxicating and also non-addictive. They also note that CBD does not produce that high that you get with THC. And also, a lot of people want to know why that is, and it's because THC, the part that gets you that euphoria, connects to different receptors in the brain than what CBD does. And those receptors are found throughout our entire body, which are CBD2 receptors. And, really what happens is, just like Dr. Todd mentioned, you get that calming effect. And it's probably in the more of the aspect of the fact that it just helps our body relax, and it slows down pain signaling and also calms that swelling that happens in our body. So when it is activated in our system, that endocannabinoid system, that ECS, it helps control the little things like sleep and mood and pain and so much more. And we can get into that a little bit further, but it won't make you high. It won't change your thoughts. And instead, it can help your body feel that calm and that balance that we're looking for in whole health. And it's really just that system that works in our body. It's like the body's helper network. It keeps our body moving and balanced, and just helps with that overall response to help us feel better and well balanced.
Love that. Balance is key. All right, Dr. Hendricks, you're up. Tell us, how does topical work? I know this is one of your favorites, so we're excited to hear about topical. Oh, Dr. Todd, I think you're on mute, dear.
Was this one for me?
I'm sorry,
Hey,
Dr. Todd. Dr.
I'm
Hendricks.
sorry, can you hear me now?
Dr. Todd and seeing Dr. Hendricks talking. So, Dr. Hendricks, this is for you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we know that the skin is actually the largest organ in the body. And what's unique about applying it topically is that every cell in your body has receptors, in the that's part of the endocannabinoid system. So when you apply it topically, it helps actually modulate some of the pain receptors locally in that area. And unlike when you take a CBD oil like under your tongue, that enters your bloodstream. When you apply it topically, it does not enter the bloodstream. So it really is focused in that area that you're applying it to. And with the ultracell, it carries the same technology that we have with the liquid. So we get much greater absorption into that local area. It What it helps regulate is it helps with the pain perception. It helps decrease the inflammation. It helps decrease like skin issues, like if you have like say eczema or other inflammatory conditions of the skin. So the unique thing about ultracell is that it also, what I like is that it's the carrier is an abrasive organic aloe, which leaves your skin feeling soft and silky smooth, but it also incorporates other essential oils that help just promote even more sensations of not relaxation, but a kind of an analgesic effect, the chamomile, the black pepper, and the peppermint. So I love the combination of being able to take it orally and using it topically for targeted spots where we have more aches and pains or discomfort.
Topical is one that has many uses, most of which we can't discuss due to compliance, but talk to some people if you don't know much about it, because it is quite powerful, that topical. All right, so up next, I believe we've got Dr. Todd. Hey, tell us how about that endocannabinoid system, Dr. Todd.
Well, the ECS is a body-wide system, and it was recently just discovered, not that long ago, 2018. And the ECS basically is the system that sort of tones down our immune system. It supports the healthy inflammation in the body's response. In the last 100 years, I guess you could say, it's the last body system to be discovered. It's responsible for when you have homeostasis, people call it, when you sort of settle into a balanced body where your inflammatory conditions are toned down. Most everybody has an inflamed or really high ramped up immune system. And so these imbalances really cause health challenges. When people are anxious or nervous, that's your immune system that's responding to that, that's ramping up. So that's where basically CBD and anything associated with the endocannabinoid system can tone down, because you're trying to, again, the ECS tone, you're trying to slow that process down. That's what cellular balance is, trying to get everybody to slow down a little bit, slow the immune system down. When it comes to sleep, which is one of the things that I do, is that it really does help people sort of get to the point where their chemical imbalances can be balanced, particularly if you take it in the morning. It really does help slow that process down. So the ECS, I can't overstate the power of the ECS in our bodies and what it does and how it operates. And fortunately, we have CBD or cannabidiol to help people slow down that process. So hopefully that helps some.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Todd. Okay, Dr. Kerrie, tell us what are the potential benefits, health benefits of using this CBD?
Oh, absolutely. I am so excited that Dr. Todd mentioned about that endocannabinoid tone, because it's so important. Each of us have our own endocannabinoid tone, and it depends on how your system's working, really. I've always said, a way I like to explain it is that if your body was an equalizer, something that has the different knobs on it, that you change it to hear what you want to hear, or our body has different knobs, if you will, which are the systems in our body. So like the cardiovascular system, the immune system, the musculoskeletal system, which is super important in this. Each of those are those little knobs. And when we're out of balance, something might work for one person, but not another. So if you think of those different systems in our body as little knobs, if one knob, like sleep, is turned down, or another one like pain is turned up, something that can alter that endocannabinoid tone, like Dr. Todd just mentioned. Actually, when you take a product like a full spectrum hemp that's really well versed in that cannabidiol, that CBD, it actually gently turns those knobs back to get you at a better level and gives you your better tone. So how it can help, it may support, if needed, joint and muscle comfort. So it works with special spots in our body, just like we talked about before, those CB2 receptors, and it can help with that. It encourages, when you take that in, emotional well-being and mood balance. So it can help your body use something called serotonin a little bit better, which is that brain chemical, that neurotransmitter that helps you feel calm, that steadiness and that emotional balance. It also has been shown to promote just that relaxation, again, helping with that well balance in our our mental and our emotional well-being. It can talk about in your system, supporting that better sleep, like Dr. Todd mentioned as well. It can calm those thoughts that are racing. It actually can help someone that, probably myself included, from going from one task to another task and another task. It helps bring it down to getting one task done. And our immune system, it has been known to help with taking action and balancing out in our immune system, so it doesn't overreact. Because when our immune system overreacts or underreacts, again, balancing out that tone, it can lead to more of that inflammation or fatigue, just getting us out of balance. So again, fine-tuning our own ECS tone, brain health, cognitive function. While CBD might not help every single thing in every single person, even though there's a plethora of things to do, it is a great tool to supplement your body needs and balancing out your ECS tone. So it just really depends on what your body's asking for your own whole health.
Oh, love that. Lots of notes. All right, Dr. Hendricks, I get this one quite often, especially with the number of products on the market. So help us understand the difference between full spectrum, broad spectrum, and an isolate CBD.
Sure thing. What we utilize is considered a full spectrum, which means that we're utilizing everything from the actual hemp plant. The distinction between full spectrum and broad spectrum is that broad spectrum, they just basically take out the THC, which is a psychoactive component in the hemp plant. And then a CBD isolate just has CBD in it. But what we're after the interaction of all the different components in that hemp plant to create what we've termed the entourage effect. And the components all together are much more effective than just doing a separate isolate. We know that there's over 400 compounds that play a part in that entourage effect that include not only all the cannabinoids, which there's over 100 known cannabinoids, but the terpenes and the flavonoids, they all interact together. So that's the biggest difference right there. And I think it's important to note that with Ultracell, to be federally legal, you have to have 0.3% or less THC. And I believe that might be another question in the future on, can you pop a drug test? So I'll hold back from expanding on that until we get to that one.
Yeah, there might be. There might be. Dr. Wagner earlier was also describing this as that it's the whole plant in the full spectrum. It's all the plant. The whole plant's in there.
Yeah.
Take the whole plant and shove it in there, and that's full spectrum. So I love that, Dr.
Yeah, we're just not smoking the flower.
Oh, right. Totally. Okay. All right. Hey, what about if I have current medications? Can I take CBD with my current medications, Kerrie?
Oh, Shannon, this is one of my favorite questions that people ask, and I am very happy to state back to them that the World Health Organization, so the WHO, and the National Institute of Health, the NIH, both state that CBD is generally considered safe, and both organizations also emphasize that it's really when you get in those high doses, actually when they did the clinical studies of over 1,500 milligrams per day, there was maybe some concern, but they don't know yet. So there is actually no major concerns for when people take CBD. And I love the fact that that was released in a report back in 2018, and it has a good safety profile, and it does not have that potential for abuse, and it's well tolerated, even in those higher doses. But what I like to tell people is this: you always have to ask your provider who's writing those prescriptions. And really, just like myself and Dr. Todd and Dr. Hendricks and, Dr. Blau and Dr. Wagner, who's also going to speak later on, we had to start somewhere with learning, correct? And it took something to make us start researching ourselves. So I always tell individuals, go back to your provider who's prescribing to you and ask them. So it's that patient empowerment. You are your own advocate for your own health. So it's your advocacy and your empowerment that actually you go back to that provider and you ask some really stemming questions for them. So you ask that healthcare provider who is giving your medications, could CBD be used as an adjunct to my treatment plan? That's one great question. And also asking your provider, if they just come out and say, don't take it, and no, ask them why you can't, because that will allow that provider, just like I had to do myself, go back and start researching and studying. So this allows that provider who's prescribing those medications to look for what CBD does in your body, to see what the WHO says and the National Institute of Health and all those thousands of clinical studies out there about how promising it is for individuals to take. So it gives that back to your provider. So to find out why I can take it versus why I can't take it. So that's what I would say to you. I would never say to a person, if I didn't prescribe their medications, hey, yes, go ahead and take it. Go back to your provider and ask them, hey, why can't I take this if you're telling me no? Because I promise you, they're going to do that research and realize what a powerful plant that God gave us to use as adjunct therapy for what our concerns are.
The best answer. This is probably our number one question that we get asked in our support department. Hey, is CBD going to show up on a drug test? Dr. Hendricks, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, sure. Typically, most of the drug tests are testing for THC. And again, the federal legal limit is 0.3% or less in a CBD oil. And typically, that's not going to pop a positive drug test. We actually have a video of a state police officer that took the CBD, the ultrasound directly, and put it into a field test, and it came up negative. And what I've found interesting over the years working with Zelise is that if 0.3% is is the legal limit, if you scan the barcodes on most of the batches, yeah, it has THC, but instead of being 0.3, it might be 0.0 something percent. So over time, is there a potential that you could test positive? I suppose so, but I've never seen it in all the years that I've been with Zelise. We did have, when CBD hit the market, we did have a local pharmacy that was selling a different CBD product. And myself and some of the other local doctors, Dr. Blau, Dr. Lindholm, we tried to approach the pharmacy, but they wouldn't listen to us because it was a inferior product, and they had individuals that were actually getting tested and they were failing the drug test, and some people lost their jobs over it. So the quality and the sourcing is huge in this industry, and unfortunately, there's not any major federal regulation over the production of it. So
absolutely, I think that one of the things that makes Zelise great is that we are very transparent, and you can get all the results and those COAs that are published at coa.zelise.com. And we take great pride in that. We have very clean products, and we take much pride in that fact. So yes, thank you, Dr. Hendricks. And then Kerrie, so tell us, is it safe to take CBD daily or long term?
Okay, well, awesome that you're asking me that question. And I actually just did a drug screen on myself, and it was negative. And I've never tested positive since I started taking this in 2017. So, which is really exciting. But again, I'm going to go back to the clinical science and the clinical studies. And I told you that the World Health Organization confirmed that there's no potential for abuse, and also states that there's no adverse. They say no adverse health effects associated with long-term use. It's well tolerated. I mentioned the National Institute of Drug Abuse, the NIDA, and the NIH. They both also report, along with the WHO, that they are safe and effective, and there is really no long-term side effects of it. And it is recommended, though, when they do talk about it in their studies, that you get high quality, just like Dr. Hendricks just mentioned, and you mentioned on our COAs, that you get high quality third-party tested products that gives you that certificate of analysis. Because, and here's the key, sometimes out there, actually quite a few of products out there have pesticides and heavy metals and solvents in there. So over time, taking that stuff is detrimental to your body. So it's very important to get a product that is what it says it is and high quality. And I'm so blessed that we do have that here at Celise. And again, that is the one thing that I do know, is that they say it's generally safe, and that's what the clinical studies show. But making sure that the product you're taking is that third-party tested and has that certificate of analysis with it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Dr. Todd, it's your specialty. It's all about CBD and sleep. So we're ready to hear you tell us a little bit, just a little snippet about CBD and how important it is to sleep.
Okay. Well, that's a really important thing in my world. So yes, as the sun sets, guys, at night, when the sun goes down, anandamide levels get low, and they get low based on the rhythms of the sun, our circadian rhythms. And in the morning, when the sun rises, our anandamide levels go up. So we are really set to these types of rhythms. And so when you take CBD, for example, early in the afternoon, it can cause your anandamide levels to go up. It can also cause you to lose a little bit of sleep on that side of it. The best thing to do is to take your CBD in the morning or during the day. That way it doesn't interfere with your sleep cycles or your circadian rhythms. And really it helps you also fall asleep, because these chemicals that it helps produce, anandamide and other chemicals too, these pathways have to be sort of clean and ready to go for the next day to sleep, for the evening to be able to sleep through the night and to have a good night's sleep. And if taking CBD during the day helps that process along very, very efficiently. So CBD is a very, very important part of people establishing good sleep cycles, I guess you could say, in a lot of ways. I certainly, in my practice, we provide ultracell as well as other products along this line to help people sleep better. That's where my focus is. And it's amazing that how much better they'll feel, or how much better they'll think, just getting a good night's sleep and getting up the next morning, taking their CBD, and taking it early in the afternoon again, and just how much their energy level goes up, I guess you could say, in a lot of ways, because it does create better, more energy. Matter of fact, if you have people take it in the evening, sometimes they'll get pretty busy around the house when they really should be laying around getting ready to go to sleep. So my recommendation is take it in the morning, take it early afternoon, something like that, if you're just taking ultracell. But there are other things that we do and other products that we have that supplement that too. So hopefully that helps some. But it is the foundation of good health and wellness is sleep. Sleep's number one in my world.
Absolutely. I love when you said it today. The big piece was that your endocannabinoid system goes to sleep like the sun. So it's very simple and easy to think about. That's why it's just huge.
And one thing I want to say about that is that, if you think that it's really with our products, you think it's expensive to spend money on CBD or in our technology, think about how expensive it is to be sick, and so the cost of the illnesses, the cost of the the problems that you have from not sleeping, not resting, or not doing something because you can't get there. These products are very, very efficient in providing better whole health wellness, I guess you could say. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're going to transition a little bit into our four-legged friends and some two-legged, but mostly our pets. So, Dr. Blau, Dr. Wagner, tell us a little bit about CBD and our products and how they help our pets.
Dr. Blau, you want to go first?
I can. I will just kind of highlight some of these same systems that have already been brought up, that just like us, in humans, pets have an endocannabinoid system. And so this similar body systems that have been brought up by Dr. Todd and Kerrie and Dr. Kendricks have also importance on our side. So we can see with using a CBD product like Ultracell in our pets that we can ease discomfort and provide relief without the side effects of traditional pain medications, create a general sense of calm. And this is especially helpful when we're trying to help those pets that might be dealing with some anxiety or fear or loud noises. You know, we're starting to get warmer weather. We're starting to think about having fun outdoors, and fireworks and thunderstorms create a bit of chaos for some of our pets. So this is definitely something that can be useful for us. We also know that mobility support is huge, and we see a benefit of using hemp products like Ultracell also for that, especially in the aging population. This gives us a great alternative when some of these pets aren't able to be on traditional non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications for other reasons, or it's just not practical to continue them on a different pharmaceutical option. We can use these in with something like one of those medications, or we can use it when we can't have access to those anymore. And again, we mentioned some of the age-related issues with mobility, but there's also age-related issues with, you know, providing that sense of calm and focus. Sometimes our pets act like they're lost and need help with the cognitive side of things. And so this is also providing support as we balance out that whole body, and we give them something like our Ultracell products that we can utilize to make that quality of life better, giving them or providing them with their whole body wellness as well. And we see that skin coat and health can also improve when we are utilizing these. So managing skin, health, if we have other irritations this time of year, we're starting to see a lot of different things kind of pop up, but we definitely are willing to try to keep these pets balanced with Ultracell and keeping them, you know, balanced on all their body systems, and just promoting that overall well-being and balancing all the physiological systems that help keep them going. Is there anything else I should add?
I mean, I feel like you did great there in your 2 minutes there. We have a shepherd here that's in his older ages. He's about 11, but it really does help with their discomfort in their movement and their joints. He has that terrible hip, gets stuck quite often. It's quite sad, but we put him on some Vibe, and it's like a brand new dog, like a brand new puppy running through the house, which is super fun. But yes, he's
Great.
quite large puppy. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yes. So I don't know, Dr. Wagner, I think is going to take the next slide, and if she has anything else that she can add from these as she talks about that serving size as well.
Yeah,
No,
so pets are all different sizes, right? And it's kind of like, wait, where do I even begin? So tell us a little bit about that serving size for our pets.
Yes, so we have the product that says Ultra Pet, and I want to give a shout out to Dr. Jarbo, who was previously on the Medical and Pet Advisory Board, and she helped to come up with all of these serving sizes. So if you have a teeny, you have a cat, or you have a small dog, or a pocket pet, hamster or gerbil, something like that, the Ultra Pet size works really, really well, because you can see there on the slide, just one tiny drop per 5 pounds, and you can do it twice a day. I often find that once a day is enough. And then for those larger animals, dogs that are 15 pounds and over, I just am loving this Ultra Vibe. Like you said, Shannon, it's just making such a difference because it has the CBD, but I love CBG for discomfort. It's got that in there, the CBC. It's just a wonderful blend. So that one, I would definitely with this because it really is very powerful. One drop, per 20 pounds. I even round it down if I have a dog that's kind of on the edge. And I start with once a day and then can go up to twice a day. And you can use it even in horses, 2 drops for a 500, a smaller horse, but your average size horse, they could take about 5 drops, which would be what some people take. And you'd think horses are so massive, but they tend to come back into balance with not a lot of serving size. They do really, really well. So that's the nice thing is we have guidelines for you, and just start low and slow, as we always say. Watch how your pet's doing. And I love the idea of, doing a video. I'm old enough to remember to have to send my clients out to rent a camera so I could get something on video that's happening at home. Oh, I'm glad those days are gone. Now, we've got these. So take a video because sometimes we can't remember exactly. And then we can compare the progress. And, you can put it, you don't want to put the dropper in their mouth, but you can put it on a spoon or plate. My favorite trick is I put it on my finger and then put it on their nose. And the instinct is they have to lick. So they lick it right off their nose, and it works beautifully. So just tricks of the trade. Or if you need to put it on a treat, that's fine too.
Yeah, we do a treat here, but I'm going to try this nose thing. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it really works. Yeah.
So tell us about the CBD product that we should not give our pets.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, the little paw print symbol, there are some products like Vibe that have the paw print symbol with, a green light, use them. But definitely when we're talking about CBD type products, the Ultracell Topical is not one of the products that we want to use, especially in grooming animals. So that has black pepper oil. It can be very, very irritating. And so if they're going to lick it or groom it, you definitely don't want to use that. But for example, in a horse or something where you don't think that they can reach it with their mouth or nose or anything to rub on it, you can certainly utilize that in those areas. But you want to be very careful in animals that are grooming so that they don't experience an adverse reaction. I don't know if anyone has ever put it on like the back of their neck or something and accidentally rub their eyes. It will get your attention. So don't sign your pets up for that kind of experience. But if they can't groom and reach, it's absolutely wonderful. Oh, hey!
Harry was heard that we were talking about him, and he's like begging to sit in my lap. So here we go. You were talking about pets this night, but you guys, absolutely incredible information. We did a lot of information here in a short amount of time, but we have an incredible medical advisory board. You all are phenomenal, and you bring so much to our team. And so just a huge shout out, a huge thank you to all of you for your time, your dedication to Zalise and our products and our pets and all of us, each other, and helping put this on tonight. It was just such great information. We're getting rave reviews already. We're going to figure out how to get this replay up. We might have to edit a few things, probably what I said too, for compliance, but we will get it up, and we appreciate you all. And so Luis or Bo, I believe you're out there, and is there anything you wanted to have or share with our MAB tonight, as they are incredible?